Bart, good to see you.
Likewise.
It's been 3 months since I've set foot in your gym and I've missed it because we had a little problem with COVID.
Yes.
How did that hurt, you and the gym industry?
Well, obviously it hurt a lot of people because you got to look at the gym as not just a place where you can get fit and healthy. A lot of people actually use this to fight depression. So now the very thing that you're using to combat depression is taken away from you. Now you're sitting at home and then you start reflecting on things. You turn a pimple into a mountain. For some people that happen as well, they start to think too much.
Yeah, but I used to come to your gym, and I will come back again now.
Yeah.
Like every day, every morning, and they're familiar faces. How, you mentioned depression. How do people cope from, at one minute they've got this regular gym with all the equipment they want, to then being told you can't have access to that, and you were closed for 11 weeks.
Yes.
How do people adapt?
You've got to look at the glass half full. So yes, we were shut for 11 weeks, and there's a lot of people. It inconvenienced everybody. But think about you also now got 11 weeks to reflect on your own health. So you had a job, now you're locked up. You were going to the gym, now you can't go there. You're sitting at home, and you're now reflecting on yourself. Now the first week, like everybody would probably just have a party, would watch TV, Netflix, and sit there with snacks. But after a while, you start to feel uncomfortable. And I think for a lot of people, it gave them a reality check that they need to do something about their health. Or they needed to change their eating habits because they're like, I've been going to the gym, but I don't really see any difference. So what am I doing wrong? You got all this free time, so you can start researching. Now for me, what happened was I shifted my focus from the gym to online. And the business was just as good. So now there was a lot of people with free time saying, well, I'm going to contact the guy online and see if he can help me. So this started to grow really, really fast. So I think with the COVID, a lot of people stood back, looked in the mirror and go, I need to do something about this.
But it can go two ways. I saw lots of memes on Facebook about this, hunk or chunk. You're either going to emerge looking buff or you're going to emerge looking a slob. What goes on in people's minds when they're disrupted so much?
It's the negativity, it's too big of a job, it's too late, I'm too old. I hear it all the time when I get people coming to my gym for the first time. They look around and let's say they're in their early 60s and immediately they go, this is not for me, I'm too old. You're never too old. You know when you're too old? When you're dead. But up until then you're alive and you're living and then continue to do so. Now you can be 70 and old and you can be 70 and young. I'd rather be 70 and young. So it's some people just go one way. Luckily what I've seen, a lot of people went the other way. They think about it. Drinking was difficult. A lot of the fast foods in the first couple of months or the first month weren't open. So you have to start thinking about your eating habits, your drinking habits. You weren't going out at night, partying, coming home, getting up early, going to work. So you were probably sleeping better. So there was a lot of positive that's come out of it as well. We reset ourselves.
So when you reset, 11 weeks, there's a lot of behavioural changes.
Yeah.
You're forced to. I noticed it myself, and actually for the positive, but I know other people it's not been like that.
Yeah.
Were you concerned that when you opened the doors, the people wouldn't come back?
We were in the beginning because the way we approached it was that we looked at the numbers of people that were unemployed and the numbers of, okay, what was their income like? So we adjusted our pricing to meet the income because we had one advantage that we owned everything and nobody was knocking on my door to get the rent or a bank, whatever. So we weren't hurting financially. Now we did know there was a lot of people hurting financially and a lot of people wanted to get back to the gym as quick as they could. Even the ones who'd never been to the gym reflected on themselves and go, I really need to do something about my health. They wanted to join the gym, but again, it was the economic status. They didn't have the money. So we brought our pricing down enough to encourage everybody to come back to the gym. So I wasn't worried that when we opened, nobody would come back. We just adjusted ourselves to the markets to allow as many people to come back. Because I kind of had a feeling that just by doing the online business, that once I open the door, there'll be a lot of people that say, you know what, now's a good time to start going to a gym.
I've got two questions, I guess, to come out of that. So you open the doors in your Bangkok and Pattaya, because you've got two gyms, but is it Bangkok in Asok?
Sukhumvit 56.
Sukhumvit, and then this one just in Pratamanak, where we are now.
Yeah.
What happened when you opened the doors?
We had a stampede, honestly. The one in Bangkok was, the lineups were actually in the car park. And obviously we had to follow the rules and we could only allow X amount of people in, but because both centres are so large, we had the inspectors come in and say, you've got way too many people, and we said, well actually no, according to your rules, it's one person per 5 square metres. We have 1,400 square metres, so we could allow, 200, 300 people in? And they go, oh yeah, that's a lot of people. But we were so large, and because of the high ceilings and the fans, they go, well, it's okay. So we did have a stampede. Between the 2 branches, we pulled in 1,000 new members within 2 weeks.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, but we had the advantage because many gyms, especially in Bangkok, didn't open up on the 17th like we did. And it's because the government said, you can open up your gym, but you can't use any machines. And we have so many plate load and free weights. For us, it was a non-issue. We went, okay, because for every pin load machine, we had a plate load machine. And dumbbells and plenty of them. And then I had other friends who have gyms, and I asked them, are you opening? They said no, because we've only got 1 set of dumbbells. It's just not worth it. So we got a lot of traffic from other gyms as well. And
that's an interesting point, because for lots of people that have come into gyms for the first time after COVID, they put on a bit of weight, they're new. Newbies, I always think, are the ones that go on the treadmills. But when I spoke to you, can you educate people here that are new to fitness about the benefits of using weights over just going onto a treadmill and disappearing in the corner?
Yeah, I mean, well, for starters, we weren't allowed to let people use the cardio rooms, so there was no treadmills allowed. So those people who did join for the first time were forced to use the free weights. Now, the daunting task with the free weight is not knowing how to do it properly. So that's the thing that scares them. And nobody wants to go to a place where they feel out of place. They all want to feel like they belong. If you walk up the dumbbell and you're scratching your head and you're looking around, everybody looks like they know what they're doing, you're not feeling comfortable. But when you go into an environment where everybody's using free weights, the thing is, it's like a brotherhood. Somebody will walk up to you and say, hey, you want to help? Or I can show you. And we've got trainers that will walk up to you and give you some pointers and tips and get you going. So for me, it was a really good thing in one way that they couldn't use the cardio. Because weight training will give you way more benefits than the cardio machine does. And think about it, a muscle, when you finish it, you take it home, and that muscle continues to work for you. A treadmill, when you finish it, you can't take it home. It stops at the gym, and then you go home, and then that's it. I'd rather you see improving your muscles than you try and improve your cardio, because that's technically what you're doing on a treadmill.
Because that's really what I'd like to reach out to fellow expats and say, come and try this gym. And because I always thought when I first got into training and just done the cross trainers and the exercise, it's a little bit boring just up there with you.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You do half an hour and you think, what was the point in that? But if they were to come to a gym like yours, the message is to them, don't feel intimidated, people will help you, and try the machine weights. That's what. Yeah. I guess I'm just repeating what you're saying, but I want people to give it a try and feel the benefits, because since I've started coming to your gym, I'm hooked, and I think that's why I told you I've got an injury, because I've been overtraining.
Right.
But their kickbacks are much better than going to the bar and.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And like I said, do you want to be 60 and decrepit and bending over and hurting everywhere, or do you want to be 60 and strong and full of life and enjoying life? It really comes down to you. So for me personally, I'm looking at longevity, and if I hit my 90s, I want to do that as physically fit as possible. I don't want to be old at 90, I want to be young at 90. Do everything I can by myself, not be dependent on people.
That's right. So let's finish on this. What your opening hours, what's the kind of prices they can pay, and
Yeah, well, right now we were celebrating. So when we first opened, we reduced our prices. Right now we're officially open 1 year this month, so we've got a nice little promo, $14.99, and we're open from 7 in the morning till 10. And so there's plenty of time for you to come in and still train. No, so next month we got a review, because next month it's a 5-year anniversary for the Bangkok branch. So we may do this massive promo deal of a different type again as well.
So maybe just keep looking on your Facebook pages,
right.
and seeing what promotions are coming through.
The biggest thing, whether we had the birthdays or whatever, we were still going to listen to the public and to see where they were financially. And there's still a lot of people hurting financially. So if I throw my prices up too high, I'm going to ignore the people who want to come, but they just cannot afford it at the time because they've lost their job. And I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather be like I said, we're not hurting because we own the building, we own the equipment, no one's knocking at my door. So I can be in a position where I could give my prices low enough to help those people who are less fortunate than me.
Thank you very much, Bart.
No problem.